Stephanie is just another fake comic. Here, let's take a look at a demo clip that's on YouTube. Just post a little of that right here. She's not funny. She was never funny. One can look into Graham Elwood, Jimmy Dore. Those are called fake comedians. Joe Rogan is the proverbial fake comedian. If they're comedians, then Dustin Hoffman's a comedian because he played Lenny Bruce in a movie. I have written down in the notes that they can't look at her because that's their future. Their faces are going to end up exactly like hers if they don't stop putting bad things into their bodies.
We would go into your live shows up until the COVID started for about a year and a half, almost 2 years. In fact, when we made the decision to have the Convo Couch, it was at a Jimmy Dore show, the one you had Rokana on stage, and then the sane progressive went crazy the next day, but I guess she was right about Ro. But just seeing you work the crowd and doing your stand-up and how you were just growing as a comedian too as well, it's like you're so funny and you're so awesome. Don't you miss those days? I mean, I know I don't want to rub it in. I'm sure you guys do. I mean, it must be killing Jimmy.
It's not just about the yeahs. I've got fake nods listed for notes. I've got fake laughter listed for notes.
Do a Zoom comedy show just going, oh, this is weird. And then you know what? I usually have a cocktail, maybe get high, relax, and enjoy the show. And just like I'm able to have fun. Like I'm doing a friend, Dana Eagle. I'm doing her show this Friday night at Flappers, and she does a game show in it. Where so her concept of her show is like she has a theme every show, and her concept this week will be Hitler jokes.
Oh jeez. Really? You know, they just wrote an article.
Come on, Steph.
I'm not orgasming at all.
Exactly.
I'm left.
You're not enjoying it.
No, I'm not enjoying it. You know, I don't. And I don't want your children, Democratic Party. I don't want to bear your children. All right, because your children are going to just be enslaved by your policies, and I'm going to disappoint you. You know, and there is a thing called strategy.
Yeah.
There's a thing called strategy, and that's what we can't tell you what's, oh, really? I don't remember that in 2016 when Bernie and Nina were going around saying, you know, we're ready for a revolution. Let's get this together. I don't remember somebody saying, hey, you know what? But Medicare for all isn't going to happen for another 20 years. Did you know that?
Zamorano goes on an epic rant. They want you to imagine we're in a nightmare scenario. They are pounding at the targets, show in, show out, that this is the end game. We're up against the wall. You're either a bystander or get out of the way and let the true activists, journalists save the planet and humanity.
How can they handle Fraud Squad? Do something. Do something that has a positive impact on our culture and our society for our children. And they're never, and you know what? If you're a college student and you're watching this, they're never going to give you debt relief. They're never going to give you debt relief. That's too much money. They're never going to give you debt relief. They're going to give you more wars.
Yeah. And we talked about AOC. She could talk about her lemons and how she's grinding. And if you ask her, well, what about Biden bombing Syria? Well, you need to twist the lemon properly when you get it in there.
Zero on Biden bombing Syria.
Nothing.
Nothing on Julian Assange.
Nothing.
Except I need to look into it more, etc. Terrible foreign policy.
Yeah. I'll defer the caucus leadership on Venezuela.
We're constantly bombing Syria, or our NATO-backed affiliates are bombing Yemen.
The real nightmare part of this is their faces. Stephanie and Fee, what's her name? Fiorella. They claim that they are women of color. Maybe they are, but I get a suspicious feeling that they are of the Spanish side of, say, Mexico. Just look at, what's her last name? Isabella? That was the queen, very close. Fee's last name is very close to that Queen of Spain. Neither of them seem to have dark skin. I don't think they're women of color. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sometimes people can be light-skinned and be a person of color. I think these people, those two women, are from the imperial fake color side. They keep pushing Rockfin. Why are they pushing something in which none of us can just sign up and do what they're doing over on Rockfin? It's because they are not sharing anything with anybody. They are targeting people.
Hopefully, we'll start doing more private shows for our subscribers on Rockfin. So
Nice.
that's what we're working
We
towards,
would
you know.
love to see that.
That'd be awesome.
Love to see that and stuff because it really is the Rockfin revolution.
Yes,
We're
it
fighting back
is.
against censorship here. That's what
That's
it's all
right.
about. And
Rockfin. What a lifesaver for so many of us.
These are proverbial military shills. It's called Internet COINTELPRO. I've got it written down that this is basically nothing more than infomercial stuff. There's no dialogue going on. There's no give and take.
They're bombing Palestinians. This is nothing that gets talked about in the progressive movement. You know, very few people besides yourself, us, and a few others talk about foreign policy or talk about Julian Assange. It's like you can't if we know about it, right? If, like Jimmy says, if a jagoff comedian can talk about Julian Assange and knows more about the foreign policy, then why do we need these people to represent us? What's the point of having them if they're not gonna even remotely touch on those topics that directly impact Americans every single day? The millions of dollars that it costs to bomb a country is what we don't have that money for people here.
All these shows do is have people take turns talking, and then the others fake nod, fake laugh, fake agree, fake this, fake that, and all the rest of it. They want you to go to their fake protests.
we're going to go out March 18th. Is it March 17th?
March 17th.
March 17th. We're going to go out St. Patty's Day to D.C., even though it's got a bunch of caged flux facilities. We're going out there. We're going to the CNN building. We're going to other places, and we're going to tell them fuck censorship. And we know you over there at the Jimmy Dore Show know what we're talking about. So thank you so much for coming on.
I'm a big fan of the Convo Couch. Great time today. Thank you so much, you two, and Johnny.
Johnny's over there on the ones and twos. Thank you, Steph. We love you. We'll see you soon. Remember, Brownie 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it going and stuff. There. Let's end on that. Thank you, Steph. We love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye, guys.
They want to add you to lists. Maybe they think if you're willing to pay money to go to Rockfin, then you must really believe in what they're talking about. That might be the rationale for that. Otherwise, they would go or create a new video website. No, they're pushing some cryptocurrency place in which you have to register to even see anything. That's that for the note portion. I didn't take any notes for the Baldwin stuff. I did watch a little bit of him on this. I thought it was okay. I know the guy's sort of a bad guy. He's annoying. He must annoy the Trump people, and the Trump people must annoy him. So they're really two peas in the same pod. If someone is anti-Trump or pro-Trump, they kind of cancel each other out. They're kind of in some type of fake war. The thing that really stood out for me in regards to Alec Baldwin is his complete inability to grok that Hollywood is dead. He thinks, well, he's supporting Woody Allen and maybe someone else, I forget who. He wants clear-cut proof someone is guilty of crimes before they're condemned or canceled. He's against cancel culture. The people who are arguing against so-called cancel culture are co-opting the freedom of speech thing the same way they co-opt Assange's plight. Baldwin is a narcissist. Now, on the flip side of that, I sort of respect him for just going on and putting up his stuff as a regular guy. It's impossible for him to be like anyone else. He probably craves that sort of existence, but he decided to become rich and famous. His ego is too tied in to memories of acclaim from his movies. He did that Glengarry Glen Ross. He wasn't always just some buffoon. Same with Robert De Niro. Before De Niro jumped the shark and came up with nothing of relevance since like 1990 or whatever, Godfather stuff, or I forget. He used to be a real actor. He used to be a real human being, but these people, they age and they don't grow. They become systems within themselves. Hollywood's dead. It's never coming back. I developed an internet television show to prove that anyone could do this. Now Alec Baldwin is flipping that around. He's saying people who are rich and famous can do what the regular guy does. I respect him for attempting that. It's just going to be a failure because he's still living in the Hollywood past. He's basically Gloria Swanson from Sunset Boulevard. I also noticed that he too has some tardive dyskinesia. Not as bad as his wife. I can't believe how bad Jimmy Dore's wife has it. I can't believe how consistently all these people have messed up faces from drugs. I think that's the big story. It's why I've been glued to it for several months. The medium is clearly dead. It will never come back. I recommend Krishnamurti to everyone. If there was ever an escape plan from this big mess, it would be to put on Krishnamurti. There's tons of his stuff on YouTube. Work on something else while he's on, or devote your full attention to his greatness. People must do whatever they have to do to break off from internet addiction and the medium. These are not our friends. They are not saving anything. They are not accomplishing anything. They are a dead end.